Welcome to the Purposely Aligned Entrepreneur Podcast presented by Boss Girl Creative. This is episode number 440. Today, I'm talking about why it's encouraged and important to have a preferred list. Now let's dive in. Have you already found business success but feel lonely at the top? Or do you feel like you're at a place in your business where others just don't get it? Or maybe you feel like you have to make yourself smaller in order for others to not feel less than. Or maybe just a little bit of all three? But with all that said, there is good news because I've been there and I see you, sister. I'm Taylor Bradford, the torchbearer of this podcast and sisterhood, and I'm here to lead and inspire you to stay purposely aligned in the success you have found and provide you with support, guidance, and a sisterhood to keep going. Because I do get it. Your business journey isn't meant to be traveled alone. So grab a notebook, your favorite pen, and a bevy, and let's dive into this together with this latest podcast episode. Welcome to the Purposely Aligned Entrepreneur Podcast presented by Boss Girl Creative and me. Hello, welcome to episode number 440. I am your host, Taylor Bradford. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today, it is all about the preferred list, the preferred vendor list, the preferred partner list, the preferred business list. That is what we are talking about today and how it can be beneficial to you, how it can be beneficial to your preferred partners. Yes, that is what this episode is all about. Before we get into the nitty-gritty, let's find out what's been going on in social media with this week's social media headlines. Social media headline number 1, Meta launches an initial test of read receipts opt-out in DMs. Now you can just not let people know that you've seen their DM. Social media headline number 2, Meta inks a deal with Amazon to facilitate shopping on Facebook and Instagram. The new deal will enable Amazon merchants to connect with Facebook and Instagram users. Social media headline number 3, Threads rolls out new toggle to opt out of having your posts shown on Facebook and Instagram. Now you can stop your threads being shown to your aunts and uncles on Facebook. Social media headline number 4, Instagram will now let you highlight post replies in your stories. A new way to highlight top replies to your Instagram posts. Social media headline number 5, Threads adds the option to delete your Threads profile without impacting your Instagram presence. A key update for Threads, while Instagram's chief has also provided an update on DMs in the app. And finally, Instagram updates the Reels Composer UI to provide more creation options. Simplified Reels editing to help more users dip into short-form video. And that wraps up this week's social media headlines. So I'm back fresh from Wedding MBA in Las Vegas, and I attended some really great sessions this go around. Last year I wasn't really all that inspired. This year, there were some magical speakers, one in particular, Shannon Tarrant, and I absolutely loved listening to her in her session. She just actually launched the Venue Help Desk, and she was a hoot. I absolutely enjoyed her session a million %. And that is where this particular episode is coming from, her session, and the value in having a preferred partner list. Now, this specifically was talking to venues because I do have a dream of having a wedding venue at some point in the next 2 to 3 years. That is the goal. But there is so much goodness to this talk that goes beyond a wedding venue. And I was really inspired after her session. And that is what today's focus is all about. That is what the topic is for this episode. And I think it's super relevant no matter the niche that you are in. I can see this working for construction. I can see this working in realtors. I can see this working in boutiques. I can see this working in a myriad of niches, which is why I wanted to talk about it. So this is all about you creating a preferred partner list for your business that will help your clients. Because at the end of the day, that is what we're in the business of doing. We're in the business of helping clients. We're in the business to sell to clients. We're in the business to change a client's life, to provide a solution, etc. And I think this is going to be really, really smart for you to consider adding into your own business, just core, your business foundation. So what is a preferred list? When you hear what a preferred list, what do you think of? For me, especially in the wedding world, I think of my top 3 to 5 photographers. I think of my top 3 to 5 venues, etc. And that is exactly what a preferred list is. If I'm putting on my Smitty's general contractor's hat, I'm thinking about a mortgage company. I'm thinking about insurance. I'm thinking about lawn care. I'm thinking about all of these things related to the home. And this is where I think that you creating a preferred partner list is going to be very beneficial to you. Plus networking and relationships and all of that. So let's dive in to thinking about creating your preferred list. How do you do that? I want you to think about 3 to 5 humans, 3 to 5 people or businesses per category that you think is relevant to your niche. And consider a wide range of budgets. Now, depending on the type of service or product that you sell, if you're in a high-end market, if you're serving luxury clientele, you may not have a wide range of budgets. You may just be offering a variety of humans that offer some amazing things. So the wide range of budgets is really going to be dependent upon what you sell and what you offer and who you're servicing, what level of clientele that you are servicing. I also want you to reach out to your existing clients or your past clients and ask them, who did they use for X, Y, and Z? Who do they recommend and why? Because those people could be part of your preferred partners list. So once you figure out who you might want to have on your list, I want you to create a preferred partner application. This is going to include their business name. It's going to include their contact first name and last name, the position or the title that they are within the company, whether or not they are working for a company or they are the owner of the company, their business email, their business phone number, what category they fit within, what their website is, what their social media handles are, where their business is physically located, and when are they available? Do they take appointments during the week? Are they a monthly appointment setter? Those kinds of things you will want to know so that you are informed to be able to share these humans with your own clients. A few more questions to consider, including in your application. What type of products or services do they offer? Providing a description of what those products and services are, including what makes them unique from others in their category. Providing a price range that their average customer spends with their company and what it typically includes. So if they spend $5,000 with your company, what does that exactly include on average? How many years have they been in business? About how many clients do they accept in a given year? Where do they collect their business reviews? And then also ask them for their business license, if that's something that's required in your market, and also a certificate of insurance, especially if they are going to be coming to your facility to sell a product or a service. Now, that particular requirement is crucial to a event venue. It may not be crucial to your particular business model. I know I have some friends that are in the beauty salon, hair salon business, and they routinely ask for vendors to come in to do pop-up shops. That is when you are also asking for a certificate of insurance so that if something happens while on your watch, you are covered under their policy. That's very, very important. And then a few final questions to add to the application. How did they hear about you? And then share something that you've learned or they've learned about you, your team, or what it is that they like about what you offer, what you sell, what you do for your clients that makes them want to be on your preferred partner list. And then finally, provide 3 companies that they are already a preferred partner with, because you're going to need to do some fact checking. You don't want to just accept an application without doing your homework. So now that you have your application, now it is all about how do you respond to somebody that wants to become a preferred partner with you. You can send out a simple email. And here's the gist to the email. Thank you so much for reaching out to learn more about our preferred partner process. The first step to be considered is to complete our partner application here and then insert the link. This provides all of the information for us to evaluate if your services are a good fit for our clients. We re-examine our preferred partner list twice a year. If your business is the right fit, we will reach out to schedule a consult, a one-to-one chat during our next review process, which happens in blah, blah, blah month. Sincerely, or warm regards, whatever you want to say to close out the email. So this is why you want to do this a couple of times a year, and why you don't want to do this all the time throughout a given year. Because you do want your clients to be able to utilize the list that you have worked hard to put together. So only open up the application process a couple of times a year, particularly in a slower season, so that you actually have an opportunity to meet with people. Like, that is the goal. So once you've sent out the applications and you've received applications back, and it happens to be in a month that you will be setting up one-to-ones or offering tours or whatever it might be, depending upon your industry and your niche, I want you to meet these people. Meet them, introduce them to your team, show them around. This is important. But before you get there, and you're in the application checking process, I do want you to read their reviews, contact the preferred partners that they are claiming they are on a list for, check out their social media, make sure everything looks okay, because it will be a representation of your own brand at some point if you add them to your list. Review their average pricing to make sure it aligns with what your client actually spends. And then, do they have a valid business license if that's a requirement in your market? Or did they provide you liability insurance if that makes sense for you to ask for that? Like, you need to check all of these things before you decide to start scheduling these appointments with these people. So now you've decided, okay, I'm going to offer a consult with 10 people, however many you want. Here are some questions that I want you to think about asking during your one-to-one time. What makes your company different? How will this relationship between you and I be mutually beneficial? How do you give back to me? How can you support my marketing efforts? Do you advertise anywhere? Do you do pop-up shows? Do you do live shows, home shows, whatever it might be? Do you pop up somewhere and advertise yourself amongst other people doing the same thing or doing something similar in your niche? In the wedding world, it is wedding shows. In the home world, it is home shows, that kind of thing. And as you're asking these things, here are the things in the back of your mind that you are evaluating them for and on. Did they reach out to confirm the appointment with you prior to arrival? Did they ask how they meet with you? Where do they go? Where do they park, etc.? Did they get more information from you ahead of time? How professional are they dressed? How professional are they acting? Did they show up early? Did they show up on time? Have they done their homework about your business? Are they asking you the right questions? Does it seem like they just partner with other vendors or that they're just taking referrals? Because partnering and just taking referrals are two wildly different concepts. And then what does their follow-up game look like? Do they reach back out and say, thank you so much for allowing me to have this time one-on-one with you, etc.? These are the things that you're looking for. Now, on this one-to-one meeting, this is where you're going to set the expectations for what it really means to be a preferred partner with you. You can organize this however you want to, but I want you to be organized about that because it's very important that they also feel that you're in this for the right reasons. It's not just a one-sided partnership. So I want you to talk about who all is on your list. I want you to talk about your team and the roles that your team has. I want you to share a copy of your policies that it's important for their clients to know about your company. Those things are really, really important. And then I want you to go over the benefits, what they will receive by being a preferred partner with you. And this can be whatever you choose, but here are some examples. A website link back to them on your preferred partner page. You can offer bonus incentives for them referring business to you, whether that is monetary or an experience or whatever it might be. You can offer to review them on Google or their review platform of choice. You can offer to tag them in your social media posts and say, put the expectation out there, you will do X amount in a month or every 2 months or every 3 months, whatever it might be. This next benefit might not work in every single niche, but I'm going to give you the backstory on how Shannon presented it because it makes sense in the wedding world. So you could share secret feedback from the couple or from your customer back to the vendor partner at the end of the event, at the end of whatever it might be. Because they may not be willing to go back to the person that referred them to you and share their feedback, but they may be willing to share it with you, which you can then share it with your vendor partner. And I think that that is something that can just make everybody get better at what it is they do. And so the example was a florist did their job and, in the wedding world, the florist sets up and before obviously the wedding happens and then leaves and then everything, goes on and they have the ceremony and the reception, etc. And they don't necessarily see the florist ever again unless they hire them for something completely separate from wedding festivities. And so they may share floral feedback to you, the vendor that has the venue, and because you are there or your representative is there all night long. And they may share feedback with you about the floral that you could then go back to the florist and share, whether it is positive feedback or negative feedback. You would have the opportunity to be able to share that backwards. And it works both ways, both positive and negative. So I'm not 100% certain how that might work in other industries. I'm trying to think actually, you know what? I can make it work with Smitty's, with our general contracting company. Let's say my roofers are out there. So I am the general contractor. I subcontract every single trade that goes out. If one of my trades goes out And let's say my project manager was on site for the roof, but is not on site for the gutters. And the gutter guy is out there, and the customer provides feedback about the gutters to my roofer, who is not Smitty's. The roofer is my subcontractor. Well, my subcontractor, my roofer, could come back and say, hey, they provided XYZ feedback about your gutter guy or your gutter person. And then I could then go back and share that feedback with my gutter person. So that is how it could work within the construction world. So just think about that. How could that work within your own vendor preferred partner lists? Another benefit would be offering them business swag so that they could show off your business when they are out doing other things. A few more benefits that you could consider: discounts on your own services and products, a once-a-year preferred partner celebration, a preferred badge that they can include in their email signature line, social media platform shout-outs that is more than just tagging them with what they do in a regular post. And then if you have like major buying cycles within a given year, so in the wedding industry, we have 3 big buying cycles. We have engagement season that really happens starting at Thanksgiving and rolls all the way to Valentine's Day, and then happens again at graduation, and then happens right before back to school. So right there in the summer months. So our 2 bigger ones are the holidays and then at graduation, but we have a blip in the radar at summer that also can happen. So providing your vendor partners additional incentive to help you sell during those major sales cycle times. So things to consider about benefits to offer to your preferred partners. Now, with all of that being said, I'm going to encourage you, actually, I'm going to mandate you to track everything. Track everything related to your preferred partner list. These are the things you should be tracking. How many clients do they send you versus how many clients they send you that book you? And then track the estimated revenue that they are generating from you. So if I have a preferred partner list and Susie Q is in my space, let's use the venue as a hypothetical here. She's in my space 22 times in a year, and she charges $5,000 on average to her client. So 22 times 5,000, Susie Q is making $110,000 from my venue every single year. That is an expense. That is something, a signal that you want to track, because you can be like Susie Q, if she starts falling down on her duties on representing your venue as a preferred partner, you can be like, Susie Q, I give you $110,000 a year, sister. Let's get this nipped in the butt. So I want you to track estimated revenue that they've received off of referrals from your vendor partner list. Because of you, they have made XYZ dollars. And then the reverse is, who's on your list that's not bringing you business? Who isn't showing up? Who's not getting hired off of your list with your own clients? Because that's a big signal too. So as you're tracking that through, every 6 months, because again, I encourage you to look at your list, keep these numbers every 6 months. You may just do a full year evaluation, but you're looking at your list every 6 months. And I want you to keep a file on these people. Track their testimonials, track the customer complaints from your own team. Find out the feedback about working with that preferred partner. Keep track of their packages and their current pricing. Keep track of their new offerings. Keep track of them giving back to your business. And look at their social media. How often are they tagging you? How often are they engaging with you as just an account? Are they liking your posts? Are they engaging with your reels, etc.? And then at the end of the day, if they aren't doing any of those things, or they fall short where you don't want them to be falling short, you have to tell them. You have to tell them they're off the list, because a partnership implies a level of respect, and you are obligated to give them that feedback. Otherwise, it's not a partnership and it's not fair. Let them know what is going on, what you are seeing, what you are experiencing from your own clients. You can give them a chance to improve if they haven't totally gone off on the deep end. If they've gone off on the deep end, you need to DNR them ASAP. But if they have an opportunity, if they've just been having a crappy half of a year, whatever it might be, you can give them an opportunity to improve after you've given them this feedback. Because at the end of the day, you would want to know, wouldn't you? You would want to know why you are no longer preferred partner for somebody's business. And why? Why? What did you do? What could you do to improve? Plus, this shows other vendor partners or future other vendor partners, because people talk, let's be real, that you truly mean something. Like, the weight of your preferred partner list is a thing of beauty, and you aren't playing around. This is important. You don't want your clients being dicked around. Like, you just don't. You want people that are there to serve your clients just like you are serving your clients. So that DNR list, the do not resuscitate list, this is a list that is internal. And when you are working with your own clients and you start recommending people to them, and they say, well, what about Josh Snow? And you're like, oh, we choose not to refer that vendor. You don't add any emotion. You just simply say, we choose not to refer that vendor partner or that partner. And that's all you have to say. You don't say anything else, because what you don't say speaks a lot more volume than what you just said. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to be sued for libel. You don't want to be sued for slander. So you're just going to say, we choose not to refer that vendor. And then if you do actually ban somebody from being on site at your facility, if you actually have a place where other vendors come to work and you have somebody banned, you actually have to name them in your contract. We do not allow such and such vendors to work on our property, and list them out. They have to legally be in your contract. So, what can you ask for from a preferred partner? Because again, this is a two-way street. This is not just a one-way thing where somebody is making $110,000 from you. They're going to have to earn it. So these are the things that you can ask from your preferred partners. Posting on their social media and tagging you the way you want to be tagged. Nothing drives me up the wall more when I hear people refer to Sugar Creek as Sugar Creek Rentals. I love that so much, said nobody ever in my orbit. If I could have been Sugar Creek Rentals, I would have been Sugar Creek Rentals. But Sugar Creek Rentals happens to be a canoe outdoor center somewhere, nowhere close to me. Tent camping next to Sugar Creek, under a bridge. I have no idea where this is located. Let's look real quick. Let's see if we can find. Adventure Awaits. They are in Indiana. And it literally goes to ClementsCanoes.com. Sugar Creek Rentals reverts to ClementsCanoes.com. If I could have been Sugar Creek Rentals, I would have been, but it was already taken and they are securely keeping it. It drives me nuts. So something you can ask for from your vendor partners is when they post on social media that they tag you correctly, that they comp you something once a year. These are things you can ask for. Whether or not they say yes, that's between you and the vendor partner, but these are things you could ask for. Extra bonuses or upgrades for your clients from that vendor partner. A specific offering for your clients. A blog post backlinking to your business on their website. A gallery page featuring your products and services on their website. Writing you a Google review and sharing images if they've interacted with you. Participating in an open house that you offer for other people, discounts for a special client, weekday special rates if there's a difference between weekday and weekend rates, helping you when you need help for whatever reason, and then finally, contributing towards your own marketing materials. So I found this one interesting. The speaker right before Shannon's talk actually partnered with somebody local. It's called Connect Local. And they produced a magazine for this venue that also connects couples locally to other services. And the venue never had to pay for it. Other people buy into the magazine to advertise their services, and the venue gets to present it to their clients. Now, this is a major gift to a client because the venue is one of the first things that they sign up for. It's they get a ring, they get engaged. Then the next three things in no particular order is a venue, a gown, and a photographer. Those three things are the very first things that a bride purchases. So having a venue guide, a local guide that the venue gets to hand out, and you being advertising in that guide because you're a preferred partner, that is a magical way to get in front of a lot of people, or potentially a lot of people, because that is gifted to every bride that tours the venue regardless of booking. That's powerful. So asking your preferred partner to contribute toward your marketing materials. And that's it. So at the end of the day, if the vendor or partner relationship is not a mutually beneficial relationship, you've got to ask why it's not. Because it can benefit you both greatly. And if it's only benefiting one of you and not both of you, then it's no longer a partnership. Thank you so much for tuning in to this particular episode. If you found it useful, if you found it inspiring, if you're like, oh my gosh, this is brilliant, I hope you'll consider sharing it with a business bestie or somebody that's in the business trenches just like you. If you haven't yet purchased my book, it will be a great foundation builder for you. Pillars and Purpose, How to Build a Business That Works for You. Grab yourself a copy. Go to bossgirlcreative.com/pillars book. That's pillars with an S, book, and grab a copy. I've got a Kindle version and a print version. You get to pick, and I would love to help be your guidepost, your guiding light through your business journey to help you create an epic foundation and find purpose in your business so that you can continue going even when the going gets hard. Having a strong business foundation is legitimately the only way that you can stick around for the long haul, which we all want. Thank you again for tuning in, and until next time, I hope you have a great rest of this week.
Oh wait, before I go, thank you truly for your support of my own business journey and this podcast, The Purposely Aligned Entrepreneur. If you know another entrepreneur who is in the same business trenches, who has already found success but might be feeling a bit lonely in their journey, my hope is that you'll share this podcast and this sisterhood with them. Because this, what we do day in and day out, isn't meant to be done alone. Speaking of lonely, if you're ready to squash the business journey loneliness, stop what you're doing right now and join the sisterhood. Visit bossgirlcreative.com/sisterhood. I can't wait to see you in there.